Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me today. I am going to spend the time in this video getting a little bit personal with you guys again, not in the same way that my letter to my younger self video did, in a little bit funnier way. I've talked about how I'm sarcastic, and you've probably seen me be a little bit sarcastic. And this video is really intended to be fun. I'm sure that you can tell by the title of the video that it is talking about things you should not say to your friends who are child-free by choice. So before I forget, be sure you subscribe before you leave and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. So first I want to define child-free. Me personally, it's not the same thing as being childless. People who are unable to have children but they want children, that's entirely different than those of us who are child-free by choice because we do not want to procreate. So, I don't have something like, there was no specific moment in my life where I was like, I am never having children, and I was not born and raised or anything of the sort thinking I'm not going to have children. Actually, when I was in high school and college and not just out of college, I actually just thought that I was going to have children. Although, of course, I could do an entire video talking about gender stereotypes and how women are just raised to, or not even raised, but just like kind of trained and assumed to believe that they're going to procreate because that's the only reason we're on this planet, whatever. Whole different video. So, but so of course, when I was younger, I thought that I was going to have children. I got married. I've been married for almost 9 years now. And even at the time that we got married, I don't think either one of us were really like, we're not having children, but it was definitely within like, probably the first like year and a half, 2 years of marriage that we're like, nope, children aren't for us. And we are 100% sure of that decision, that we are not going to have children. We do not want to have children. Our lives are full and amazing and complete, and we have friends with amazing children that we love to spend time with. We don't hate children. We just know that raising children is not something that we want out of our lives. So with that, talking about what being child-free by choice means, some people, like this is a whole community, right? Like there are people on this planet, I didn't make up the term child-free by choice or child-free or anything of the sort, like there's Facebook groups and Instagram pages and like people who go on cruises together. International Child-Free Day is August 1st every year. So, this is a thing, and some people, they're on far ends of the spectrum. Some people like truly hate children, and that terrifies me and is not at all my reason. There are people like me who just feel, like argue with this if you must, but I do not want to continue to populate an overpopulated planet or bring children into a world that is so full of violence and terror and school shootings and bullying. And on the flip side, I understand there's a lot of really great and amazing things in parenting that, aside from all of the terrible, terrifying things, that it's great and amazing. I hear you. It's not for me. So when you are child-free by choice, you're in a minority of sorts, okay? I'm not comparing myself to people of other cultures, of other sexual orientation who are discriminated against, but there is some discrimination that goes on against people who are child-free, especially in the workplace. People assume, go back to my last video, that I'm not busy because I don't have children, that whatever I'm spending my time doing cannot possibly be as meaningful as raising tiny humans to be decent human beings, and don't get me wrong, that is so, so, so important, but it does not make your life more important than mine. People at work have said things like, oh, well, I can't diet because I have a family. My husband and I are a family, FYI. A single woman with 10 cats is a family. Mom and mom with 5 children, they're a family. Like, everyone is a family. Some people are estranged from their parents, and sometimes that's why people choose not to have children, is that they had a terrible childhood and they don't trust themselves to be good parents. So, Let me step back off my soapbox. This video is not actually intended to be like this is why I'm child free and you have to believe me and understand me. That's not it at all. I just want to bring light to the fact that like I talked about this a little bit in my compliments video. We all say things that are unintentionally hurtful to people or unintentionally like off color or just like not right. So, and I do it too. I'm sure I do it to parents too. And for people who want children and are unable to have children, who generally are referred to as childless, my heart breaks for them. I don't judge people for having children. I really don't. Even though my reasons are, one of my biggest reasons is that this planet is overpopulated. I don't actually judge people for that, because if you want to have children and that is what you want in your life, then do it. And I respect you for making that decision. So moving on. These are just some things that I have heard, and I know it is common for other child-free people to hear this. And especially, let me also say, I am very fortunate to have a very understanding family. I can't think of a time that anyone in my family has come up to me at a family wedding or gathering or holiday on any side of my family and has said, when are you guys having kids, or questioned us about having kids. We are so lucky to have the support of an understanding family that we have. That said, strangers are usually the worst, right? And I mean, like, especially parents, like strangers who come up and touch your babies, that's so weird. Like, okay, I'm so far off subject now at this point. Let's get back to it. So these are just some of the things that I have heard. I may or may not have responded in some of the ways that I talk about, but this is really intended to be sarcastic, funny, lighthearted, and drop your own things below. By all means, tell me the stupid things that child-free people say to parents, because I know that I probably say some things because I just am not even understanding things sometimes. So the first, most common, my favorite is, you'll change your mind. Okay, wizard, what else about the future can you tell me? That's not really what I say, even though I really do wish I could pull off saying that. Usually my response is just no, especially because it's usually someone who's not my family, who I don't love, right? Like, it's no, I'm not going to change my mind. Also, none of your business. And also, if someone who is child-free by choice someday is not child-free by choice, cool, good for them. Go for it. Like, everyone changes in their life. We all change our points of view and our mind on things, right? Like, some people believe in God, then don't. Some people don't, then do. Like, go with it. Takes all kinds to make the world go round. Again, 2-3 videos ago, hateful and extremist people not included. Okay, so number 2. It's different when it's your own child. I am 100% certain it would be different if it were my own child, but I don't want to know. Number 3, like, this isn't something I would ever even be able to come up with to say to someone, so I love it when I hear it, but your mom had you. And if she didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here filming this video right now. Number 4, I've actually already kind of talked about this a little bit, but don't you want a family? Bitch, please. My husband and I are a family. If we choose to get a dog later, the dog will be part of our family. Like, no, come on. Number 5, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. Okay, we all have our priorities. I can't stress how much I love and respect the people in my life who have made the decision to have children. I love that. However, that is not my decision. I respect and appreciate theirs. I expect the same back from them. But just because I made this decision doesn't mean that I'm missing out on something else. Just like your decision to have children doesn't mean that you're missing out on not having children. Number 6, like this might actually be like the second most common one I hear, and I actually like understand the rationale behind it, even though I do have strong feelings on it. It's, who's going to take care of you when you're old? No one should procreate just so they have someone to take care of them when they're old. It is no child's responsibility to take care of their elderly and aging parents, just so we're all clear on that. My mom is lucky. She raised 2 good kids. We'll take care of her just because we like her. However, no one should have children assuming that they're going to take care of them when they get old, because that is not their responsibility. It is the adult human being's responsibility to make sure that they prepare for that part of their life, right? And number 7, this is my last one because I really don't want to be too cynical or too sarcastic here, but it's you'll regret it. A couple things about that. One, I would rather not be the one who regrets having children, so having them and then ultimately regretting it. There's that. And there's so many things that can be regretted in life. But you know, one of the decisions that my husband and I consciously made was that if we do change our minds later, we certainly understand that we can change our minds later, especially, I mean, at this point, he is 41, I'm 35, we're not biologically having children. However, there are a lot of children in this world who need good parents. And if him and I get to the point where we decide that we do want to be responsible for raising a decent human being, we will turn to one of those avenues of adopting a child that needs good parents. So really, I hope that you found some humor in this. I hope I didn't offend anyone. I just want to make sure my message is clear, is that parenthood is optional. Women are not on this planet specifically to procreate, though those that do, again, they made an amazing choice and I bow down and respect their decision. And again, let's just respect each other about this. Like, I am being sarcastic, however, at the same time, like, and also child-free people are not the only ones who get these comments made to them. Fortunately, like, I think I started to say earlier, I'm getting to the age where people aren't saying this to me anymore. You know, even strangers aren't saying this to me anymore, which is cool. That, or like there's posts about me in mommy groups about the things I say. Anyway, remember, International Child-Free Day is August 1st. You don't have to be child-free to support your friends who are. And with that, thank you so much for sitting through and listening to me. I would love to hear your comments below. Let me know if there's anything else that you heard, or if there is something maybe that a child-free person has said to you. Oh, I have a parting thought. I think it was like fall of last year, like you had to have seen it. There was this meme with like this mom with one of those like felt boards with the letters that you put on, and she was like sitting down with her coffee looking all exhausted, and she said something about how moms should be able to go to the front of the line to get their coffee because you're 22 and slept 12 hours last night. Okay, that's where I have a problem. We all wait in line for our coffee regardless of our life decisions, okay? So with that, thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you found this at least a little bit funny, or maybe even a little bit insightful, and I cannot wait to see you again next week.